and Pakistan visa regime is such that it has to be city-centric. Today we put a question to Mr. Gaurav Gogoi that how can you visit the most secure place in Pakistan, that is called Rawalpindi, without a valid visa for that city. So if you Google, you will get immediate answer that an Indian citizen cannot go to Rawalpindi district of Punjab province without a valid visa. We have examined Gaurav Gogoi's visa.
But he says, I went to visit my wife. He says, I went to Pakistan to visit my wife.
Today he did a press conference.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील टीएमटी बार एकदम सॉलिड।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी एमडीएच का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
सिप सिप जीरा सिप एमडीएच का जल जीरा सिप एमडीएच का जल जीरा सिप।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over cricket, are ready to compromise the nation. Terrible. Pakistan has taken another magnificent U-turn in its decision to not play, not play, keep changing its mind, ladies and gentlemen. First they say they stand with Bangladesh, then they said we stand with them so much that we don't participate in the World Cup. Then they put Shehbaz Sharif in front and he said we've taken a clear decision not to play cricket with India because we are backing Bangladesh. Listen to what Shehbaz Sharif said.
T20 World Cup जो है उस हवाले से हमने बड़ा वाज़ेह स्टैंड लिया है कि हम हिंदुस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ जो मैच है वो हम नहीं खेलेंगे, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि ये खेल का मैदान है, ये सियासत नहीं है। खेल के मैदान में सियासत बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमने एक बड़ा सोच समझ के हमने स्टैंड लिया है और इस हवाले से हमें बांग्लादेश के साथ पूरी तरह खड़े होना चाहिए।
That's what he said 8 days back. Now he's changed his line 8 days later. Now he's saying that the government of Pakistan is now directing the Pakistan national team to take the field on February 15th for the scheduled fixture against India in the T20 World Cup. Now viewers, my point is, let the Pakistanis do what the hell they want to do, who cares? But what is the BCCI doing? What is the ICC doing? What is Rajiv Shukla doing? What is this paid executive Sanjog Gupta doing? Why are we allowing Pakistan to do the U-turn? We should have never given them a long rope. We should have caught them and said, no, you said you're not playing, now you don't play. We should have embarrassed them. We should have made life hell for them. We should have reined in the Pakistanis. But no, you see in our country, some people are so desperate, like Rajiv Shukla, so desperate to play cricket with Pakistan. Why, Rajiv Shukla, do you want to play cricket with Pakistan? You have no history of cricket. But Rajiv Shukla says, we agree with the ICC. We cannot comment on what the ICC is doing. And then he says, ICC, BCCI has nothing to do with what Shehbaz Sharif is saying. Well, let me tell you, the ICC has given in to Pakistan. And I feel bad. This fellow, Sanjog Gupta, who is the ICC CEO, earlier was a TV executive, ladies and gentlemen, in the same company. Now, this man, Sanjog Gupta, puts out a... Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, thank you very much for joining me today. We're in the middle of a very, very hot parliament session. We're in the middle of a very volatile parliament session. A lot is being said, a lot is being exchanged, a lot of accusations are being made, privilege motions are being moved up, and you're right there in the middle of the action. You're not a traditional politician. You're a technocrat, bureaucrat.
After 9 years of being a minister, you still don't want to allow me to be called a politician. I don't know what qualifies. Oh, well, yeah, I spent 39 years in the civil service, 4 years with an international think tank, and now here. So, but yeah, I'm enjoying this kind of.
That politicians are believed to have thick skin.
Well,
but you didn't start off being a politician, so I presume.
No, but listen to me. No matter what you do, if you take it seriously, you try and do the best you can. The thickness of your skin is a direct reflection of the kind of people you deal with. Now, when I was a civil servant, I dealt with more benign people. But, you know, as a politician, I have to deal with the honorable leader of the opposition, and dealing with him and the likes of him, you end up developing a thick skin.
In what way?
In what ways? Because, you know, my view, Arnab, is that politics, the essence of politics is freedom of speech. The essence of freedom of speech is discourse. And the essence, core of that is participation. Therefore, if you have an issue, you raise it in Parliament, stand there, let somebody else respond to it. But, you know, earlier I used to describe his brand of politics as shoot and scoot. Now it is spit and fly. Now, if he wants to raise an issue, he is never there. I mean, when he's not traveling abroad and even Parliament is in session, sometimes he's traveling abroad when Parliament is in session. Today, the issue is different. If he thinks someone, a foreign government, has a chokehold on us because XYZ, he has to explain it. Now, going and doing a jiu-jitsu grip posture, so-and-so happened, mixing up apples and oranges, etc. I can tell you as a former trade negotiator, you know, I was a trade negotiator in the year of the Lord, 1981. If you talk about trade deals, this is one of the best phases in India's history. We've got 9 deals, one after the other. 27 members of the EU. We've got a trade deal with the United States. And he says India is sold out. Sold out. And sold out why? Farmers not protected, data not protected, this not happened, that not. Arey bhai, explain to karo. Padh to lo kya likha? Arnab, this is a framework agreement on an interim agreement. There is still stuff to be negotiated. And he's linking it to something in some file somewhere, something in some file somewhere. Somebody has a friend of yours has a case somewhere. Arey bhai, the Prime Minister's mind is not wired to take pressure. I worked with the Prime Minister 9 years. I've been a member of his team, but I've had the privilege of knowing him earlier. And if there is any point of time, post-May 2014, our economy has gone from fragile 10th position to 4th position, going up. And it's shooting up. And he decides to echo somebody's view, it's a dead economy. He decides to say, this is not right, farmers are against it. Arey bhai, if you are serious about your profession, read what is there. My colleagues who are responsible for trade negotiations said, farmers' interests fully reflected. See what's in the joint statement. Somebody else puts out some sheet and then retracts it today. So all I'm saying is, our parliamentary democracy has 2 kinds of people. People who dedicate themselves for the Samaj Seva and the transformation of the country, and those who are casual about their work and who provide elements.
Do I get an impression, right, that the government has sort of been very indulgent with Rahul Gandhi over the last 10 years?
I think in the past, but you should let him have it now.
You think you've been too indulgent with Rahul Gandhi in the last 10 years, and now it's sort of fraying at the seams?
No, I think Rahul, Arnab, there is, when you talk about the honorable leader of opposition, I choose my words carefully, there are 2 points of views around, and these are not only in the party. One is that it's good to have a leader of opposition like him. Why? Because A, he provides entertainment value, is not able to pursue any issue seriously. He raises an issue and then he goes completely in another direction. So it's one issue today and then he'll raise it for about 6-8 hours, then they will go off the tangent and raise another issue. So there are some people who believe it. I personally believe that a government like ours, which has a mandate, which is massive, which is in for Mr. Modi, the Honorable Prime Minister's on his third term, we deserve a responsible opposition so that if there is some act of omission or commission we are committing, we should be able to correct it through constructive criticism. I believe in that. Does Mr. Gandhi really grow into that role? I don't think. I think it's late in the day. And the Congress party is imploding. There are people in the Congress party who say, "Kahan phas gaye?" If the guys, by the time he finishes the leadership of the party, they'll be too old to contest election. So there's turmoil there. But as far as I'm concerned, I can only wish him the best of luck.
You're in the line of fire as well.
I'm not in the line of fire. I'll tell you something.
You're in the line of fire over these Epstein files. Now, I think that, Mr. Puri, you and I should have an absolutely open and straight conversation on it. You have said yesterday that there are, in 8 years, there is one substantive email. The opposition and others are saying there are 163 mentions as per the US government's Justice Department dedicated to Epstein, where there are references to you. That's not a small number. You've said you've met Jeff Epstein only a few times, but the correspondence and exchanges are established much more than that. Now, my question to you is, in what capacity were you in touch with Epstein?
Let me correct you. In the 8 years I was in New York, starting May, June 2009 to 2017, there's a total of 4 meetings with the man. In 8 years, 4 meetings. And the number of references there are, maybe repetition, there one after, if say, Arnab, Hardeep Puri, Navika Kumar, Maria, so-and-so. So if you take one, that's their counting. If I say on record that there are not more than 3 or 4 meetings, or to be charitable, I'll say 4. And the email, what am I discussing? There are 2 things about...
Why are you having email exchanges with a dubious man? You have said yesterday that in the 8 years, allow me, there is 1 email I've exchanged with him. And later you said there's only 1 substantive email. Then went on to say there are 1 or 2 others. This clouds the mind of the public. We must be clear. It sounds, the critics will say this is wishy-washy.
For heaven's sake, let me show you the email. I can recite it from it's a discussion with Reid Hoffman, who is the founder of LinkedIn. And I'm a private citizen. When I'm put in touch with him and I meet him in Los Angeles, I'm saying that India presents a great opportunity for digital innovation, for internet penetration, for Make in India, Digital India. Epstein is about wrongdoing. Epstein, there are things in the Epstein files which are about criminal wrongdoing, which the FBI is chasing to bring justice to the victims of those things. This has got nothing to do with that. This is about somebody who's a private citizen saying India under Modi presents great opportunities. So please, somebody of your standing, Arnab, read the email. I remember it offhand. I can even tell you, read the email in its entirety. There's nothing about...
How do you assume I have not read it?
Then I'm surprised you're asking a question.
No, but may I ask you a follow-up?
Yeah, please.
If it is Reid Hoffman, you are Hardeep Puri, you are India's ambassador to the UN.
No, I'm not. I'm a private citizen at that point of time.
You're a private...
I ceased being India's ambassador in March 2013. This is an exchange of October 2014. 1 year and 6 months later.
You are saying you're pushing Digital India.
Yeah.
How did Epstein know that the Reid Hoffman meeting was scheduled?
I told you...
What was his role in it?
No, I explained that. And let me explain it to you because you have hopefully more following. But I thought others have become very clear on it. I go there as part of a delegation of the Independent Commission on Multilateralism. I'm the Secretary General. A former Prime Minister of Australia is the chair of that. In that meeting, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so, this is so-and-so. He sends an email to POTUS, this is legal counsel. Legal counsel means a lawyer. POTUS is President of the United States. Saying, tell POTUS to come for the high-level climate summit. A lot of important people will be there. Gordon Brown, Prime Minister of UK, President of Mongolia, XYZ. And he says, Hardeep Puri of India. He doesn't know me. He's heard of me because he's met me 1 or 2 times. And he suggests that Reid Hoffman meet me. So he sets up a meeting through somebody, I don't know who it is. I meet Reid Hoffman and I copy him. And what am I telling Reid Hoffman? He's asked me, did you persuade Reid to go to India?
No, he says... And you've been very uncharitable. You just said I have not read the email.
No, I'm glad you're reading it. Then let's read the thing.
Why did you say that I have not read the email?
Because anyone who's read it would know that I'm
but you know
pushing Digital India, I'm pushing Make in India.
I know
and
that.
before
I
it
know
is,
that.
before it is
I know that, but you know I never do interviews without going through this stuff.
No, I know that. That's why I know you, because you and I went to the same college. You're known for due diligence. That's why you have such a standing.
We were part of the same debating society as well. But my question is, he writes to you on 4th October 2014.
Yeah.
He says, tell him you will organize this trip to India to meet with science and tech people and social networking gurus. My question is, under what authority does Jeff Epstein tell you to organize a meeting for the LinkedIn chief?
Jeff Epstein in 2014 is somebody who's known to everybody. Somebody asked me, didn't you know who he was? No, I didn't know who he was. In 2008, he had some problem in Florida and he served house arrest. But in 2014...
That's my question. That's my question. In 2008, allow me.
Can I complete this? 2014, when I meet him, he's meeting the whole world. He's meeting heads of state, heads of government. He's meeting prime ministers and president. At that stage, when we found out that there is something wrong with the guy who's more controversial, in my first meeting, I had a sense of unease.
What sense of unease?
I'll tell you, when my boss then, Terry Rod Larson, turned around and said, I want to take you and the chairman of the thing and the members of the board of highly respectable people to a evening event somewhere. I said, where? You know, he jokingly said, I won't tell you because you'll Google the place and you might not come. So I said, and how will I reach a place if you don't tell me where it is? So he said, Anna, the driver will bring you there. Then I asked Anna, what is the address you're taking out? I don't think she also knows. I Googled the address and I told my other colleagues, should we go? They said, well, you're going as part of a group. And he refers to that. There are a lot of people in that evening. I don't know if it's the same event, but my first meeting was, there is Woody Allen there. There is a prime minister of some ex-prime minister there. There are, Kevin Rudd, his name is mentioned, Prime Minister of Australia. I'm there. After a little while, you sit there, have that, and you come away. Now, in 8 years, you've met this guy 4 times. Yes, he says, meet somebody called Reid Hoffman. Reid Hoffman is a very respectable man. He is the founder of LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I send them a detailed mail saying, please go and invest in or look at India. What are the arguments I use?
No, I know the arguments you are using.
Then I
know the arguments you are using. Mr. Puri, this constant assumption by you that I have come to meet you without reading the emails is absolutely wrong. Because I've seen the arguments, but I still have a follow-up question. Am I allowed to ask the follow-up
You're allowed to ask any question.
Yes.
If after reading the email, you still come back to who Epstein was, I know who Epstein was. I discovered lately and I walked away from that.
I'm not questioning your intent, because in that 13th November 2014 email you're writing to Jeff Epstein, CC Reid Hoffman, and you're saying, I briefed you on the discussion with Reid in Silicon Valley, SoftBank investing 10 billion in the Indian e-commerce space, Prime Minister Modi's focus to revive the Indian economy, Make in India, India's 200 million internet users, digital infrastructure rollout plans. So you're not pushing any personal agenda. You're pushing
personal agenda.
You're pitching Make in India. Now my question to you is only this, and this question you must answer, that why Jeff Epstein? Because
it's a very simple thing.
Because you're saying that everybody in New York knew him. He was a very prominent member
in
of
2014, they didn't have the kind of doubts. But as the time goes on, a lot of us left the place.
No, but in 2008, he had pleaded guilty to state charges of solicitation of prostitution and solicitation of prostitution with a minor under the age of 18 and was sentenced to 18 months in minimum security facility. So he was drenched
in house arrest. He was in house arrest.
He was drenched in muck.
By the way, in 2008, what happened in Florida, if it had been known in New York in 2008 or 9, some of the guys wouldn't have been talking to him. This is my view.
Some of the guys?
People who was meeting...
So you're saying he was very much back and he was active?
No, as far as I'm concerned, when I got to know really who he was or what the other...
were you using him as a bridge to Silicon Valley figures to push the India story?
Not at all. When I retired in 2013, I had plans of, doing something different in life. And in one of those moments, I met Reid Hoffman. But by the way, I was also looking at the solar system, etc. But that's not part of this. It just so happened that this guy was part of the introduction. So that's why I'm sending a message to Reid Hoffman to him. But once we found out who he was, we switched off.
When did you know that?
Well, immediately thereafter. I mean, when, details, there's a rumor mill also which goes around. This is the same guy. You check up who he is. As I said, first meeting also, one was ambushed. I checked up. Later on, by the way, the person who introduced me said, Terrier Rod Larson was sacked by the IPI. He was sacked by the IPI. And, by the way, there was an exchange between Epstein and Terrier Rod Larson. You know, Epstein refers to me in 2015 and he says two-faced. Arnab, this is important. Two-faced, question mark. And Terrier Rod Larson, who was finally sacked from the IPI, says, if you meet an Indian and a snake, kill the Indian first. And therefore, my standing with both these guys, and that's why, I mean, if I were a beneficiary of that, I was not getting anything out of it. I was part of the independent commission, which was a project of the IPI to see if the UN was...
So Terrier Lord Larson, what was he fuming about India on December 25th, 2015, within an email thread involving Jeff Epstein, with whom you had scheduled meetings and coffee conversation? Terrier Lord Larson says, have you heard the saying, when you meet an Indian and a snake, kill the Indian first?
Yeah.
This remark appears in an email chain that includes correspondence about you earlier in 2015 regarding meeting and coffee conversation. What was the immediate context of the remark? What discussion, disagreement, or subject involving India as an Indian individual?
Well, I'll tell you something. The fact that I was referred to as two-faced by a man like Epstein, which clearly I found out later when these emails came, it was a great sense of reassurance to me.
Why?
That because I had a dislike for the guy.
You had a dislike?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, he is a international figure. First time I met him, I went part of a delegation. Second time, whatever it is, he is boasting that he knows me. But after a while, when you find out that the guy was involved in something in the past, you know, it's very difficult to ask, 2008 this happened. Yeah, I went in 2009. I had nothing to do in 2008 there. In 2009, I had no clue to who Epstein was till 2013. But look, I don't need to defend myself on this. Because even the strongest allegation is not saying that this is part of some sex or other operation. Why were you in touch with him? Yeah, Arnab, I'm 73 years old. You know, I have been in touch with terrorists. I have been in touch with all kinds of people. That's all professional, this thing. As a young first secretary, I was sent to Jaffna.
Which terrorist? Which terrorist?
Velupale Prabhakaran. I was the one sent to bring him to India. Does that make me a terrorist? I was the one who went and had secret contacts with Prabhakaran and Jaffna. Look, this is part of one's professional thing. You have interviewed a lot of interesting people in the world. Nobody, I think, dares ask you the question, why did you interview that guy? He has a shady reputation. My God, the more the shadier the reputation, the more fun an interview can be. But today, my context here is not what that guy is associated with me. My context is I'm pushing the India story, for heaven's sake. And I'm smelling of roses on that.
Are you feeling vulnerable?
Not at all. I'm enjoying myself.
You see the opposition is going to go after you. I get a feeling from the kind of messages and exchanges. They're having a good time. They're going to take every email of yours, put tweets out on it. How are you going to fight this? Because can I ask you very frankly? Yesterday, Rahul Gandhi said there is this businessman, Anil Ambani. Why is he not in jail? I would like to ask Hardeep Puri.
You know, ask Hardeep Puri about Hardeep Puri, not about Anil Ambani.
I know who introduced him, and Hardeep Puri knows who introduced him. Who introduced him?
Terrier Rod Larson, who was the president of the IPI. I was in a project of the IPI.
So what is?
No, let me tell.
Are you in the line? I mean, do you see the opposition would want a scalp?
Oh, come on. I am smelling of roses and the opposition knows it.
How are you going to fight this, Hardeep Puri?
There is nothing to fight here. If I am saying I am peddling India, I wear that as a badge of honor. And by the way, the question, Rahul Gandhi said, who introduced him? Then that shrieking Jain, Supriya Srinath and Pawan Khera asked who introduced. I said, Terrier Rod Larson introduced. That is all. That is all there is. And I have never denied that I met somebody. I provided you the context. Am I vulnerable? No, I've never felt better.
Mahua Maitra publicly posted an email about how J.F. Epstein asked for a visa for his assistant to attend a wedding in India, and you wrote to Pramod, I think Ambassador retired Pramod Brajaj, confirming assistance and outlining the formal application route. Now, can you clarify what happened? Now, Mahua Maitra says you called her and asked her to delete the tweet containing this message, and that you told her that if people come after me now, he won't be able to help it, unquote. Did you make such a call?
Let me first of all separate the two things. One is the visa request.
Yes.
a visa request comes to somebody who served as India's ambassador.
Yes.
The Indian ambassador replies, put them in touch with, I have nothing to do with visa, I'm a retired ambassador. And that guy says, apply online. What can be more straightforward than that? You are told that somebody says, can you help me with a visa? He said, this is the procedure online, you apply and you get the visa or you'll be rejected. That's all, that's nothing. Insofar as Mahua Moitra is concerned, I've had the dubious distinction of knowing her for a long time. I don't want to use words which are unparliamentary. She's a serving member. She is not just economical with the truth. She's also inventive. All I asked her was, you use the word pimp. Pimp has sexual connotation. That I was pimping for the Prime Minister, okay? I asked her, have you read the email?
She used that word?
She used that word in a tweet. That's why I said. And Arnab, I called her just to ask her, since I knew her well, have you read the tweet? Have you read the email? Have you read it? And she was going on and on. Sir, sir, sir. I said, don't sir me, I have a name. If you've read it, all I'm saying is, I am disappointed. That was my exchange with her. About people coming after her or coming after me, listen, there is something very obvious. Mahua Moitra is in the line of fire on 101 things. Yesterday, somebody in the BJP made some tweet on her. You know, she appeared before the ethics committee because, you know, all MPs have a handle, you know, which they give for asking parliament questions. And she said nobody in our staff speaks English. So she gave the handle to somebody else who was asking questions. And that guy was asking questions which are on the business interests of that man. So please, I don't want to get into it. She's got enough to handle on her own. As far as I'm concerned, things like Mahua Moitra calling me XYZ, I also wear as a badge of honor because my life is an open book, 39 years in the Foreign Service. When I went to New York, we won the Security Council election with a record, 183 out of 186 seats, okay, votes we got. My rest of it is also there, whether I was in the X ministry, Y ministry, I did 7 years of housing and urban affairs, I've done civil aviation. My record is an open book. And as far as Mahua Moitra is concerned, he will be dealt with by the party. She abuses, she has abusive 6 tweets every day. I don't, she's...
You are clearly now, whether it is because of your ability, your position or your importance in the Modi government, you are in the middle of what you call innuendo politics or smear campaign, and whatever I see, targeting is happening. Why don't you take some legal action? You see, I am curious about this. Why don't you take some legal action against your political opponents in what they are saying? Isn't it advisable for you to do that? First question. Second, simply, does the government, does the Prime Minister have your back? You have the full support of the Prime Minister and the government in this because you're being targeted, Mr. Puri, and you're not a private citizen anymore. You are a very important union.
What am I targeted for? For advocating India's cause?
Whatever you're being targeted for.
No. Let's be very clear. I'm not a private citizen. I don't do anything on my own.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. So if I do something, I do it with full responsibility. Secondly, what about legal this thing? You know, when I was in the service, I was known as the most litigious so-and-so. I won't use that word because it was a polite term. You know, I won a defamation case against somebody in the UK. That person also ended up putting to, he's misogynist, he doesn't like women. So somebody reminded her, you ended up issuing an apology, you ended up posting the apology, you ended up paying £20,000 in cost to his lawyers. Immediately.
Where is the litigious Hardeep Puri now? Why is he taking it on the chin?
You see what
Why is he not fighting back legally?
Hold on. You saw what happened to Mr. Saket Gokhale? 50 lakhs in damages he has to pay, unconditional apology, although it's against my wife, but it was aimed at me. He told everybody...
Why don't you go litigious against Rahul Gandhi and Mahua Moitra?
What about Rahul Gandhi? What did he say in Parliament? All he said was, who introduced Hardeep Puri? Listen to me.
But if they cross the line beyond...
No, I'm waiting. There's an expression in the English language I use somewhere. Come into my parlor, said the क्या वो क्या होता है? What is? Tell me.
Say the spider to the fly.
To the spider to the fly. So come, we'll see. I mean, all.
What do you mean? Come, we'll see.
Come, let's have some fun.
What fun?
No, let them come up once over, calling me a pimp, etc. Whether I want to take legal action or I want to tell her what that word means in the context of others' activities. I'm not even naming her. Let's have some fun.
You're willing to hit back, you're saying?
Okay, okay.
Are you held back by your position?
Not at all. Not at all. I feel supremely free. And I'll tell you something. I never do anything if I'm not sure about myself. And facing the most fierce interlocutor on television on a day like this, a lot of people say, don't give interview, don't give interview. I said, why not? I said, they'll bring up the Epstein file. I said, I want more and more Epstein files to be aired. I want it to be in the public domain. When they read as R-E-I-D or read R-E-A-D, when they read what I wrote to read, on which this so-and-so is copied, they'll say, in the midst of all that storm, there is one guy standing up for India. I was talking about digital India, Make in India, at least 8 months before it was launched. I am having this discussion in 2014. Most of these missions, digital India and all, are launched in 2015.
You're saying you're not going to be blackmailed on this issue?
Blackmail, kya karega yaar? Come, as I said.
Is Rahul Gandhi blackmailing? Has he spoken to you personally? Have you had a off-record, any discussion in the corridors of Parliament or anything?
Can you tell me about?
Tell me about
Get to know Rahul Gandhi. He walked up to me on 26th November on Samvidhan Divas.
Okay.
He came up to me and winked.
Winked?
Winked. One, I don't know, left eye, right eye. I'm just trying to stay where he was. Then when he winked a second time, I smiled. I asked him, name is come in interesting places.
Name is?
Your name is in interesting places.
Rahul Gandhi said that to you?
So I said, would you like to know what the context is? I said, you want me to send you a note? He said, So I sent him a note. Exactly what I said in the press conference.
You sent him a note?
I sent exactly what I said in the press conference. So today, I was sitting in Parliament when in the Rajya Sabha, I had a dear friend who's also a colleague who said, Ki aapne acha, he said something in Hindi which I can't repeat here. You had great fun yesterday in the press conference. Then I told him, I said, I'd even actually sent him a note. I could have spared him because I wanted to spare him making a ass of himself. He said, but do you know something? And this is a guy who had been in the Congress party. He said, do you know something? I said, no. He said, never reads. So what happens is, if he's going into something, somebody tells him, you remember, did you see that interview on why a motorcycle weighs 150 kilograms and why a...
Speech, unfortunately. It was a speech, unfortunately.
Well, it's not a statement.
About a motorcycle.
A motorcycle and car weight. I mean, if somebody, I've always maintained.
But I'm finding it very interesting that on the 25th or 26th of November, on Samvidhan Divas, he winks at you and says your name is in interesting places. And then he talks about this in February in the budget session.
Because he hasn't read the note.
No, but doesn't it mean this is some form of a political blackmail that he did on you?
No blackmail. What did he blackmail me for, yaar? I mean, listen, my life is an open chapter. I love guys who come at me. I've told you, I had a reputation of being litigious. Whether it's Saket, Gokhale, my wife, because he said, you have some property somewhere. I said, yeah, here it is, here it is. Second issue, look, even when I was a very young joint secretary, somebody said that, there had been India was having secret nuclear talks and the thing leaked out. And somebody tried to suggest that I was the source of the leak, and somebody called me something. I got a apology caption in a front page in a newspaper. Now, let me tell you, yes, when the time comes, first of all, blackmail is a very tough word. Blackmail means if you have got something on me. As I said, what here is in the open. Where's the blackmail? It may be, there may be scope the other way around. You understand what I'm saying? In political life, you put politics of innuendo works up to a point. Politics of coercion works up to a point. But we are in a democracy.
But you said you began by saying, and I'll take 5 more minutes, you began by saying that I think we have been too indulgent
with
Rahul Gandhi so far. I think he should get it back. What did you mean by that?
I meant that there are 2 points of view. One is that if you've got somebody who in the process of his work displays elements of buffoonery, then you should take the entertainment value and the fact that you don't have a more serious guy. I don't know about that. I personally used to take Mr. Rahul Gandhi quite seriously. I said, while he's a late bloomer, he started late, I mean, his own education pattern, etc. But he's got, mother, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, I mean, saying that he means well, I used to think. But after he calls India a dead economy, and when it's growing at 8.2% in that quarter, when he tears up an ordinance in 2013, now when all these incidents come together in my mind, I genuinely believe that he needs help. Now that help can be provided either by my side or it can be provided by his party.
3 more questions. I asked you whether the Prime Minister is backing you fully. Have you spoken to the Prime Minister?
Well, to the extent I can say, I am fully backed, yes.
You're fully backed?
Fully backed.
That makes you feel stronger?
No, what's wrong? There's nothing. For peddling India's case on digital innovation, I need somebody's permission. And that time I was a private citizen. What is the issue? What is the issue? I was saying...
Anything is an issue these days. I mean, Naravne is an issue. Naravne's unpublished book is an issue. Scoot is an issue. Anything is an issue.
He also had, by the way, a copy of the Constitution around with cellophane covers. So I have a lot of friends in the Congress who come and gossip with me. So I told them, give me a copy. So I took the cellophane cover off. And it was an edition, I think 6th or 7th. The preface was a round criticism of the, of the curtailment of civil liberties in June 75, the emergency. And that's the copy he's waving around. So here is a guy who really needs help. So I think I wish him the best of luck. I really have to now leave because...
I take one more question.
What? Final question.
One more question. I'm not going to answer to this. This is completely off the issue.
Yeah.
But you're the petroleum minister. So have we really decided not to take a drop of Russian oil?
Well, look, let me first tell you.
Yeah.
Purchases of oil is a complicated business, okay?
You're going to avoid my question.
No, I'm not going to avoid you. I want you to do a separate interview with me whenever you like.
But look. Because if I don't ask you this question, all the viewers watch, everyone watching, they're going to say you met Hardeep Puri and didn't ask the question.
Our companies buy from a variety of sources. They used to buy from 27 countries. Now they buy from 42 countries. They float tenders at the point of importation, say we need, by the way, Arnab, there are 350 grades of crude. 350 grades of crude. And you will so float a tender at, say, Western this thing, that I want heavy crude.
Trump has given an executive order saying we are going to watch how much Russian oil is being taken.
I think we'll need to have a separate one on this.
But just say, are we buying Russian oil or not? Have we promised not to?
No, please listen to what the Foreign Secretary has said to the Standing Committee. And on this issue, you and I must have a separate one so that you can regale your readers with, or your viewers, or you're not a viewers. So let's have a separate discussion on that. Meanwhile, look at what's in the joint statement. And all I say, we are committed to the trilemma. We are committed to availability, affordability,
order of Donald Trump,
affordability and sustainability.
In the executive order on 6th of February, a day before specifics deal is released, is this interim deal incumbent on India pulling back purchases of Russian oil or Russian gas? I mean, what is
Did you know in 2002, 2022, when the Russia-Ukraine war started, we were buying 0.2%. It went up, now it's come down. So let's have this discussion separately. Okay. We are going to be in a situation...
You're committed to speaking to me on this?
Of course I shall give you. I shall give you an extended interview when we have time for that. Just now you're distracted. No, I don't have time.
I'm not distracted.
We are distracted with Rahul Gandhi, with Reid Hoffman, and so on. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Hardeep Puri ji. Thank you very much.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
Himanta Biswa Sarma, good evening.
Good evening.
And everyone across the country has watched your press conference yesterday.
Yes.
Now, you see, now that you've done the press conference, you've made some very, very damning allegations against Gaurav Gogoi.
Yes.
Are you doing it? First question, let's have it out of the way. Are you doing this because you're facing a huge test in your political career with the Assam elections coming up, and he's the person Rahul Gandhi is putting up against you?
Arnab, you know Assam. Even I produce a picture of Asim Munir and Gaurav Gogoi. Congress is not going to lose a single vote, because whomever the vote, the section of people who vote for Gaurav Gogoi or Rahul Gandhi in Assam, in any case they will vote only Congress. From that press conference, neither I will gain one vote, neither I will lose one vote.
But you have said some amazing things.
Yes.
You said that you think that Gaurav Gogoi visited Pakistan on an invitation from the ISI. You have said he has gone there for specific training, and some specific training was given to him in Pakistan.
Arnab,
these are national security allegations,
yes,
sir.
Yes. Arnab, today Gaurav Gogoi did a press conference. I do not know whether you know it or no. Do not know it. He has amplified my allegation. My allegation was that he got a visa for Lahore. Then next day when he arrived Lahore, Ministry of Interior Pakistan issued a letter that he can come to Karachi and Islamabad.
Hello and welcome. You're watching live and breaking on Republic TV with me, Ishita Mitra. Now, viewers, controversy over Tipu Sultan continues to escalate in Maharashtra, with BJP and Congress both holding protests. We'll discuss all of that and more. But first up, headlines. Sterilization camp at Community Health Centre in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar comes under scrutiny after reports of 175 tribal women operated on a single day under alleged unsafe and inadequate conditions. Two workers killed, 3 injured in horrific chemical tank explosion at Kirti Chemicals factory near Basaralu in Madhya Pradesh. Controversy over Tipu Sultan's picture escalates as AIMIM chief Owaisi defends move, saying Tipu Sultan fought against the British. A 22-year-old Indian student who went missing in California on Thursday confirmed dead by officials. Maharashtra ATS raids 21 sites in Rawatmal, Ahilyanagar, targeting extremist activity in Maharashtra. All right, viewers, welcome. Breaking news coming in at this hour. BJP and Congress continue to protest and create a ruckus over Tipu Sultan issue in Pune. Now, BJP is staging protests outside Congress Bhavan in Pune. Both the parties at this point are protesting. Stone pelting has also been reported. In fact, one Congress worker has been injured. This as there is a complaint filed against Maharashtra Congress chief for his remarks comparing Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj with Tipu Sultan. That is what escalated the issue between the two parties in Pune, and we're now looking at protests taking place with both the sides staging a protest at this point outside Congress Bhavan. We're getting you visuals, in fact, how protests are now escalating in Pune. Both the sides protesting at this point. All right, my colleague Revati now joins me with more details on this. Revati, do tell us what is the situation on the ground. We understand both Congress and BJP are now staging protest.
Right, as you rightly mentioned, because of the Tipu Sultan issue that has escalated in Maharashtra, we can see that Congress and BJP are aggressively protesting in Pune, Maharashtra, and also we can see that stone pelting has also been reported. And now the Congress workers are demanding that a crime shall be registered against Pune City President Dheeraj Ghate as well as Pune Mayor Manjusha Nagpure. So as of now, all the Congress workers are staging protests at Pune's Shivaji Nagar police station, and we can see the escalation due to the comparison that happened between Tipu Sultan and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. This was done by Harshavardhan Sapkar, and now the escalations are being seen in entire Maharashtra. After Pune, BJP is going to also protest in Mumbai today, in Dadar in some minutes, and also we can see the tensions that are rising due to this particular matter. Over to you.
बहुत वाज था भाई. All right, viewers, as the protests escalate, we also have AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi stepping in and taking a shot at, in fact, the BJP, saying that it was Tipu Sultan who fought against the British. Let's take a listen.
99 में टीपू सुल्तान की शहादत हुई, अंग्रेजों से लड़कर टीपू की शहादत हुई, जेल में बैठकर टीपू तुम्हारे वीर की तरह 6 लव लेटर नहीं लिखा अंग्रेजों को मैं माफ कर दो, तुम जो बोले मैं करता हूं। टीपू तलवार लेकर अपने मुल्क को अंग्रेजों से आजाद कराने के लिए शहीद हो गया, और अंग्रेजों को टीपू से इतना डर था कि 1.5 घंटे तक टीपू की लाश पड़ी रही। अंग्रेजों की फौज के घेरे में टीपू की लाश है, मगर डर रहे थे कि अगर शेर उड़ गया तो क्या होगा। जब जाकर देखे तो टीपू का जिस्म गर्म था। क्या यह बात सच नहीं है देवेंद्र फडणवीस साहब कि टीपू की लाश के पास से, उसके पास से अंगूठी निकली सोने की, उस पे क्या लिखा हुआ था? राम। उस पर राम लिखा हुआ था। और 2014 में बर्तानिया में 1,40,000 पाउंड में उसका हर्राज हुआ। क्या यह बात झूठ है कि एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम ने अपनी किताब विंग्स ऑफ फायर में लिखा कि भारत मौजूदा जो मिसाइल टेक्नोलॉजी, रॉकेट टेक्नोलॉजी को आज कर रहा है, वो टीपू के ख्वाबों को हम पूरा कर रहे हैं। एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम तो आपके लिए हीरो है ना, हमारे लिए भी है, मगर आपके लिए ज्यादा है। आप तो बोलते नहीं हर मुसलमान एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम क्यों ना चाहिए। ठीक है, मैं खराब हूं, वो अच्छे हैं, तो उनकी बात को मान लो। विंग्स ऑफ फायर में एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम ने टीपू सुल्तान का जिक्र किया। अच्छा चलो ये भी मत मानो तो तुम गांधी को मानते नहीं मानते, या फिर तुम गोडसे को मानते, बोलो हमको। गांधी ने अपनी यंग एज मैगजीन में लिखा कि टीपू सुल्तान वॉज द एम्बॉडीमेंट ऑफ हिंदू मुस्लिम यूनिटी, यानी वो टीपू सुल्तान हिंदू और मुसलमानों में मोहब्बत का यज्जाई था। अब क्या गांधी को झूठा बोलेंगे आप? मेरे को बोल सकते आप? क्या टीपू सुल्तान ने श्रीनगरी मठ में फौज आई थी, कहां से आई थी फडणवीस बोलेंगे आपको, मैं बोलूंगा तो फिर फौज आकर सोने का एक पुतला था उस मंदिर में लूट के लेके चले गए, शारदा देवी का। टीपू ने वहां पर मंदिर को तामीर करवाया, ग्रांट लिखे। 1791 जुलाई 6 को टीपू ने खत लिखा था मेलकोटे को। मेलकोटे की मंदिर के बारे में उसमें लिखा गया, आज भी जाकर देख सकते। बादशाह था टीपू, टीपू डेमोक्रेट नहीं था। बादशाह और जमहूरियत में फर्क होता है। आप इख्तिलाफ करो टीपू से, मगर यह बोलना कि नहीं टीपू इतना दुश्मन था। अरे हर बादशाह को सिर्फ अपनी ताकत से मतलब रहता था। वहां का इलेक्शन था, वोट डालने का मियार था, कुछ नहीं था। मगर तारीख को अगर आप तोड़ मोड़ के पेश करेंगे तो ये जरा हकीकत को पेश करना था। और क्या ये बात झूठ है या सच है, बताओ। अप्पाजी राम कौन थे? टीपू सुल्तान की फौज के कमांडर थे। ये भी बोलो आप झूठ है। टीपू सुल्तान के साथ थे ये लोग। उनके ट्रेजरर कौन थे? खाजिन कौन थे? कृष्णा राव। तो बीजेपी जो है इस तरह से तारीख को पेश करती कि नफरत पैदा कर दो। मगर भारत की पहली संविधान की किताब में टीपू की फोटो है या नहीं, बता दो चलो।
And now, viewers, the BJP has also criticized the statements coming in from Congress as well as AIMIM over Tipu Sultan issue. Let's take a listen.
वोट बैंक की राजनीति में कांग्रेस पार्टी कितना गिरेगी? कांग्रेस के महाराष्ट्र के अध्यक्ष ने छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की तुलना टीपू सुल्तान से की है। वही टीपू सुल्तान जिसने हजारों हिंदुओं का कत्ल किया, वही टीपू सुल्तान से छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की तुलना हो सकती है क्या? बार बार महान योद्धाओं का, देश के महान सपूतों का अपमान यही बन चुकी है कांग्रेस पार्टी की पहचान। कांग्रेस पार्टी कभी वीर सावरकर जी का अपमान करती है, कांग्रेस पार्टी कभी छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज का अपमान करती है, कांग्रेस पार्टी अंबेडकर जी का अपमान करती है, कांग्रेस पार्टी सरदार पटेल का अपमान करती है। आज जो उन्होंने किया है, महाराष्ट्र की जनता उनको कभी नहीं माफ कर सकती। मैं जानना चाहता हूं उद्धव ठाकरे जी से, मैं जानना चाहता हूं उनके जो अलाय पार्टनर एनसीपी शरद पवार जी से, कि क्या इस प्रकार की तुलना की जा सकती है एक हत्यारे, एक हिंदू विरोधी के साथ छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की तुलना? क्या ये संभव है? इसके लिए कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए महाराष्ट्र के कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष पर।
Now shifting focus, the Maharashtra ATS on Sunday morning initiated a massive search operation across nearly 21 different locations based on specific intelligence regarding the extremist activity in the state. Now Maharashtra ATS launched extensive searches across the districts of Ravatmal and Ahilyanagar. Based on specific intelligence regarding the extremist elements, the ATS has been conducting raids since Sunday morning, in fact, at approximately 21 different locations. We're getting you visuals as well of how raids have been conducting across 21 locations since morning in Maharashtra. Remember, it's a crackdown on extremist activities that have been on the rise, and it is on based specific intelligence inputs that these raids have been conducted by the anti-terror squad in Maharashtra. In fact, specific districts including Ravatmal and Ahilyanagar, those are the two places where raids have been conducted. All right, my colleague Revati now joins me on this. Revati, do tell us, what do we know about these raids? It's been conducted across 21 locations and the crackdown is on the extremist elements.
Yes, as you rightly mentioned, that the crackdown is on the extremist elements that have been on the radar of ATS anti-terrorist squad, and in Yavatmal district, different 21 places, different 21 locations were raided by the ATS. Also in Washim district, in Ahilya district, there are 14 to 12 different locations where ATS has raided. Also, according to the official statement given by the anti-terror squad, it says that many CCTV footages, also some electronic gadgets are being confiscated. Also, the thorough investigation of the matter is underway. As of now, no one is under arrest, but around 14 suspects are under scrutiny. They are being interrogated. So now further details are awaited that through what link exactly ATS conducted this raid and what is the connection due to which they found some extremist elements or extremist connection with the suspects. Over to you.
Revati, thank you for joining us and giving us those details about the raids being conducted by ATS in Maharashtra. Now we are shifting focus. Indian student studying in the United States has been found dead in California. This comes days after he was reported missing in a case that has shocked both his community and officials. Let's take a look at this report.
A 22-year-old Indian student in the United States was discovered dead in California several days after he went missing. Sakesh Srinivasaya from Karnataka was pursuing a master's degree in chemical and biomolecular engineering at the University of California in Berkeley. He was reported missing on February 9th after last being seen near the Lake Anza and Berkeley Hills area. Local police launched a city-wide search, focusing on areas around Tilden Regional Park and Lake Anza. This after his backpack containing his passport and laptop was found near a residential doorway close to the park. The local police recovered his body and his remains will be sent to India. Probe is on for Saket's death under mysterious circumstances. Notably, Saket was among the 6 to hold a patent for inventing a microchannel cooling system for Hyperloop and a method thereof per his LinkedIn profile.
Alright viewers, now shifting focus, breaking news coming in as slogans were raised in the presence of Congress leader Kanhaiya Kumar. This sloganeering incident in fact took place on February 13th at JNU campus. Now, videos from the event show Kumar playing a duffly and participating in Azadi and anti-Brahmanism slogans being raised at that event. The meeting was reportedly organized to protest the suspension of JNU student union officials who were allegedly involved in vandalizing a library involved in fact, the system. Now, while the video has gone viral, the Congress party has yet to issue an official statement regarding Kumar's participation in this very event, but we've got that video on your screen. Kumar very much visible in that, playing duffly, participating in this event. In fact, event where slogans were raised about Azadi and anti-Brahmanism, in fact. Now, this meeting, we are given to understand, was reportedly organized to protest the suspension of JNU student union officials who were allegedly involved in vandalizing a library biometric system. Now, my colleague Komal joins me on this with more details. Komal, what do we know about Kanhaiya's presence at this event where anti-Brahmanism slogans were raised, and has the Congress party said anything about his presence at the event?
Well, Ishita, right now I'm standing just outside JNU campus where these kind of controversial and provocative slogans have been raised. In the video, Kanhaiya Kumar, former JNU SU president and Congress leader, can be seen by using such provocative slogans by saying that Brahmanwad se azadi, Manuwad se azadi, Islamophobia se azadi. No official statement has been given by now Congress party. Well, you can see I have been joined by some of the JNU students. What happened that day when Kanhaiya came into the university premises and he rose that slogans?
ये हमेशा से इनका रहा है, इनका एजेंडा रहा है और इनकी विचारधारा रही है कि समाज में, सोसाइटी में किस प्रकार से विभेद उत्पन्न कर दिया जाए, किस प्रकार से समाज में जो है समाज को बांट दिया जाए, अलग थलग कर दिया जाए। जो मतलब भारत का जो कल्चर है, जो संस्कृति है, सबको एक साथ एक सूत्र में बांधने का भाव रखती है। नहीं, हमेशा से नारा लगाते आ रहे हैं शुरू से ही कि भारत तेरे ... होंगे, न्यायालय की हमेशा से अवमानना करते आए हैं, अपमान करते हैं। तो इनके एजेंडे में रहा है कि समाज को कैसे भी खंडित किया जा सके। और जो
controversial slogans have also sparked a fresh political debate, Ishita, but there are also some students. क्या हुआ उस दिन, क्यों आए यहाँ पे कन्हैया कुमार और इस तरह के स्लोगन्स रेज हुए? क्या कोई इवेंट था जहाँ पे उन्हें बुलाया गया था?
देखिए, अभी जो लाइब्रेरी एंट्रेंस है वहाँ पर फेस रिकग्निशन सिस्टम लगा था और वो सिस्टम जो था 20 लाख रुपए का था, और उस पे जब प्रोक्टोरियल इंक्वायरी हुई तो उस पे उन सबको जो भी उसमें इन्वॉल्व थे एसयू मेंबर्स, उनको रेस्टिगेट कर दिया गया और उन पे एक नॉमिनल फाइन लगाया गया। जबकि रेस्टिगेशन होने के बावजूद भी वो कैंपस में घूम रहे हैं खुलेआम और सारी एक्टिविटीज़ को लीड कर रहे हैं, और उसी रेस्टिगेशन के समर्थन में कन्हैया कुमार जेएनयू में बुलाया जाता है और एक नैरेटिव ऐसा बनाने की कोशिश की जाती है कि यूजीसी के जो नए रूल्स आए थे उनके खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट करते, उनके समर्थन में प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए इनके ऊपर फाइन आया है, इनको रेस्टिगेट किया गया है और ये जेएनयू के कॉमन स्टूडेंट को मोबिलाइज करने का काम कर रहे थे।
Tell me, does any action has been taken by the university authorities?
जेएनयू के लिए ये आम बात हो चुकी है, ये हमेशा होता रहता है, लेफ्ट हमेशा करता रहता है, लेफ्ट एडमिन नेक्सस है इनका, इन पे कोई कार्रवाई नहीं होती है। 2016 में इन्होंने देश विरोधी नारे लगाए, उस पर भी कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। अभी हाल ही में इन्होंने कई सारे नारे लगाए जो साबरमती ढाबे पे लगाया, इन पे कोई कार्रवाई एडमिन करता ही नहीं है। ये साफ साफ लेफ्ट और एडमिन का नेक्सस है।
This has also sparked a fresh political debate also.
Yes.
अब अंदर क्या माहौल है, मतलब क्या आयशा की तरफ से कोई इवेंट भी था, क्या बुलाया गया था इवेंट में स्पेशली उनको एज अ चीफ गेस्ट, और या फिर आप जैसा बता रहे हैं बायोमेट्रिक सिस्टम लगा दिया जाता है उसके बावजूद उनकी एंट्री होती है, तो क्या कोई इवेंट में प्रायर नोटिस दिया गया था?
ये लेफ्ट के जेएनयू के मेंबर्स को जिनको रेस्ट्रिकेट किया गया है उसके विरोध में इनकी तरफ से कॉल दिया गया था, जिसमें इनके पुराने जेएनयू के प्रेसिडेंट और सारे पदाधिकारी आए थे।
These provocative slogans have raised a fresh political debate also. Back to the studio.
Right, Komal, thank you for joining us and getting us all the students' perspective on this from on ground. Now, viewers, let's also listen into that video that we have accessed from JNU campus where these slogans were raised, and Kanhaiya Kumar can be seen participating at that event. All right, viewers, that's all we could pack in this edition of Live and Breaking. Thank you so much for watching, and don't go anywhere. On the other side, we discuss how a sterilization camp in Madhya Pradesh's Dar has come under scrutiny after 175 tribal women were operated on a single day without safe conditions at the camp.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over cricket, are ready to compromise the nation. Terrible. Pakistan has taken another magnificent U-turn in its decision to not play, not play, not play, keep changing its mind, ladies and gentlemen. First they say they stand with Bangladesh, then they said we stand with them so much that we don't participate in the World Cup. Then they put Shehbaz Sharif in front and he said we've taken a clear decision not to play cricket with India because we are backing Bangladesh. Listen to what Shehbaz Sharif said.
T20 वर्ल्ड कप जो है उस हवाले से हमने बड़ा वाज़ेह स्टैंड लिया है कि हम हिंदुस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ जो मैच है वो हम नहीं खेलेंगे, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि ये खेल का मैदान है, ये सियासत नहीं है। खेल के मैदान में सियासत बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमने एक बड़ा सोच समझ के हमने स्टैंड लिया है और इस हवाले से हमें बांग्लादेश के साथ पूरी तरह खड़े होना चाहिए।
That's what he said 8 days back. Now he's changed his line 8 days.
Now, viewers, welcome back. Families of the Japanese soldiers martyred in vital World War II confrontation in Manipur paid their tributes. This battle was a turning point between the Japanese forces and the Allied powers on the Eastern Front, and it left 277 Japanese soldiers dead while attempting to retain the strategic ridge that overlooked airfields. Watch this report that talks about that major battle of the World War II.
Family members of martyred Japanese soldiers paid their tributes at the Nungshikam Hills in Manipur. This ordinary-looking Indian hill had become a major point of contention during the World War II. A confrontation had erupted in Imphal when the Japanese forces captured this vital ridge overlooking the main Imphal airfield.
So in the initial stage of the battle, it was controlled by the Japanese from 15th Division, which is called the Morikawa unit of the 15th Division. They were controlling this massif, which is called the Nungshikam Massif. And there were several attacks by the British Indian Army to wrest the control out of these features, but then it was not really very successful because it was heavily defended by the Japanese. So ultimately, this was around 6 April, and then ultimately on 13, after several attacks to recapture this, having failed that, they finally brought in the tanks from the 3rd Carabiner, and that was for the first time the tanks were taken up on this gradient.
And then began the Battle of Nungshikam, the struggle of Allied forces to recapture this ridge from the Japanese army. 277 Japanese soldiers were martyred attempting to retain this strategic high point against the British army.
They formed a single line to drive on this ridge to blast out the Japanese bunkers from these features. But the Japanese were still there, very, very tenaciously attacking back on this, on this particular day. And ultimately, the British managed to eject out the Japanese of these features, because it was very, very crucial. If you read today's military historian, they say that capturing these features was very, very, the end result was very, very crucial to the whole campaign. Because
from those who witnessed the battle to the following generations of those martyred, the Japanese families paid tributes in Imphal. With memorial stones and floral tributes, the departed soldiers were once again remembered.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over cricket, are ready to compromise the nation. Terrible. Pakistan has taken another magnificent U-turn in its decision to not play, not play, not play, not play, keep changing its mind, ladies and gentlemen. First they say they stand with Bangladesh, then they said we stand with them so much that we don't participate in the World Cup. Then they put Shehbaz Sharif in front, and he said we've taken a clear decision not to play cricket with India because we are backing Bangladesh. Listen to what Shehbaz Sharif said.
T20 वर्ल्ड कप जो है उस हवाले से हमने बड़ा वाज़ेह स्टैंड लिया है कि हम हिंदुस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ जो मैच है वो हम नहीं खेलेंगे, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि ये खेल का मैदान है, ये सियासत नहीं है। खेल के मैदान में सियासत बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमने एक बड़ा सोच समझ के हमने स्टैंड लिया है और इस हवाले से हमें बांग्लादेश के साथ पूरी तरह खड़े होना चाहिए।
That's what he said 8 days back. Now he's changed his line 8 days later. Now he's saying that the government of Pakistan is now directing the Pakistan national team to play, to take the field on February 15th for the scheduled fixture against India in the T20 World Cup. Now, viewers, my point is, let the Pakistanis do what the hell they want to do. Who cares? But what is the BCCI doing? What is the ICC doing? What is Rajiv Shukla doing? What is this paid executive Sanjog Gupta doing? Why are we allowing Pakistan to do the U-turn? We should have never given them a long rope. We should have caught them and said, no, you said you're not playing, now you don't play. We should have embarrassed them. We should have made life hell for them. We should have reined in the Pakistanis. But no, you see, in our country, some people are so desperate, like Rajiv Shukla, so desperate to play cricket with Pakistan. Why, Rajiv Shukla, do you want to play cricket with Pakistan? You have no history of cricket. But Rajiv Shukla says, we agree with the ICC. We cannot comment on what the ICC is doing. And then he says, ICC, BCCI has nothing to do with what Shehbaz Sharif is saying.
Hello and welcome. I'm Deepti Singh, and in this episode of Our Estate Building the Nation, we are decoding the forces shaping India's real estate and infrastructure story. From global trade signals impacting property markets to major housing lotteries and big-ticket metro connectivity projects, today's top stories carry clear signals for home buyers, investors and developers alike. Let's begin with the headlines making news.
The landmark EU-India agreement is set to ignite a massive surge in India's real estate demand. By strengthening the finance, shipping and telecom sectors, the deal is driving an urgent need for Grade A office spaces across India's major hubs like Mumbai, Bengaluru and Gurugram. Furthermore, with reduced tariffs on industrial goods, we expect a boom in warehousing and logistics parks near critical transport corridors to handle the spike in trade volume. Mahada Mumbai lottery for 3,000 new homes. Home buyers in Mumbai may soon be able to purchase homes at regulated prices through a housing lottery announced by the Maharashtra Housing and Area Development Authority. Following the lifting of election restrictions, which is expected in March 2026. The lottery will offer about 3,000 homes with an additional draw for nearly 4,000 homes under the Mahada Konkan board. Gold Line Metro for Navi Mumbai Airport. The Maharashtra Cabinet Infrastructure Committee approved various transport initiatives, notably Metro Line 8, also known as the Gold Line, which will directly connect Mumbai's two airports. Metro Line 8 will link Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport in Mumbai with the upcoming Navi Mumbai International Airport, reducing travel time between them to approximately 30 minutes.
The union budget has set the tone for growth. But what does it really mean for the real estate sector, housing demand and infrastructure funding? To understand clearly, our estate expert Mr. Ashwinder R. Singh will decode it point by point in Clarity Corner. Mr. Ashwinder, I have a few questions for you. To begin with, let me ask you, what is the biggest and most important news for consumers in this budget? What will be its impact?
Sure, Deepti. Beyond the budget, real estate growth depends on three things, and none of them actually need big announcements. First, regulatory consistency, stable rules, predictable approvals, and faster clearances. Second, access to long-term capital for credible developers, so execution doesn't suffer. And third, urban planning at scale, transport, utilities, and social infrastructure planned together, not in silos. If these three are done well, real estate doesn't need stimulus. It grows responsibly and sustainably. Real estate actually doesn't need excitement. It needs certainty and stability.
What steps should be taken by government apart from budget for regular and sustainable growth?
Deepti, if Indian real estate is going to move from a 400-500 billion market today to nearly $1 trillion by 2030, that growth will not come only from the top 7 metros. The real acceleration will come from Tier 2 and Tier 3 India, and that shift had already begun. Tier 2 and Tier 3 growth is being driven by 3 structural forces. First, jobs are moving closer to people. Manufacturing, GCC, IT services, healthcare, education, and logistics are expanding into non-metro cities. When jobs move, housing demand follows naturally and substantially. Second, infrastructure has collapsed. Distance, highways, expressways, regional airports, rail connectivity and digital infrastructure have made Tier 2 cities livable, investable and connected. People no longer need to live in metros to access opportunity. Third, aspiration has gone local. Home buyers today want space, quality of life and affordability. Tier 2 and 3 cities offer larger homes, better value and community living without the stress and the cost of metros. This is why Tier 2 and 3 cities are no longer just affordable markets. They are becoming primary housing markets with demand for plotted development, gated communities, premium apartments and mixed-use townships. That's exactly what Tier 2 and 3 cities need to scale responsibly. India's real estate future won't be built only upwards in metros, it will be built outward across Tier 2 and Tier 3 India.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ashwinder R. Singh, for this very important analysis of budget news. Every market shift is best understood through voices that shape the sector on the ground. In our Real Talk segment, one of the industry's most trusted voices, Mr. Ashwinder R. Singh, is joined by Mr. Prashant Rao, Managing Director of Polumi Estates, for a candid conversation on market sentiment, strategy and what lies ahead.
I have Mr. Prashant Rao from Polumi, Director Polumi from Hyderabad with me, who has built residential, commercial, done a lot of work on infrastructure in Hyderabad, has seen the Hyderabad real estate market for the last 2 decades. He is a promoter in the real estate world who has worked very hard to focus on trust and finally deliver the end product to the customer, and that has been his philosophy for the last 2 decades.
Thank you very much for having me here on the show. Pleasure meeting you and get to know you better.
I would love to know that, how was the shift when you moved from your banking journey and became an entrepreneur, and how have you seen the Hyderabad market evolve in these last 20 years?
Quite excited to actually have got into this business. My banking career ended in 2005 when I took the shift into entrepreneurship, and with the company that we founded, Polumi, in 2005. September was when we founded this company, and from then it's been a great journey. A lot of ups and downs. We've seen the best times. 2005 was the best of times for real estate in Hyderabad. 2005, 2006 was one of the best years. Then we've seen a slump where the state went through an agitation process for a separate state. So almost 7 years, the real estate was very slow. So that's when we ventured into infrastructure works as well. We've done a lot of works within the state, outside the state as well. So that has given us a lot of growth as well, and understanding of this business in a better perspective. Yeah.
Your roots lie in infrastructure development. I would want to know, how has that helped you to build, Polumi as a real estate brand?
Infrastructure was actually an afterthought. Came in post 2007 when the separate state was going through an agitation. Sorry, when the state was going through an agitation for a separate state. We had a huge manpower, was dependent on us. Market was very slow. So that's when we decided that why don't we get into infrastructure. And so we branched out, we started working for other builders. We've done a lot of work for the government. So that has actually helped us in terms of learning, a lot of learnings we've got from there.
How do you ensure that peace of mind as a metric is getting implemented by you and your team for your clients on the ground on a day-to-day or a regular basis?
See, the tagline peace of mind came in because generally there's a perception in this market that builders are troublesome, right? And when somebody is purchasing a house, it's one of his most valuable possession, and there's a lot of attachment to this house. So if we are able to deliver that peace of mind to that customer, there can be nothing better to him, right? So we ensure that right from the planning stage, when we start a project, the location of the project is important, right? So the process of the customer when he comes to choose an apartment, from there starts our interaction with him, to the process of him finalizing an apartment, to the construction process when we keep updating him regularly on the progress of his apartment, and then finally to handing over when he moves into his newly made home.
I realize that you also focus a lot on people when you're designing your projects, and it is not just about how the project looks. I would really want to know more about this.
Sure. I'll just break this up into two parts, I would say. So Bhartiya City acquisition, we've just acquired land from Manyata. Along with Manyata, we are abutting Bhartiya City in Tanisandra. It's an 85-acre township again, being developed by Manyata as probably Manyata Tech Park 2 or something. We are part of the residential division of Manyata now, where we will be doing our the residential portion for that township as part of the integrated township. And you said yes. See, I think in the last 2 decades again, the style of living has evolved now. Earlier, we were all used to staying in independent houses or independent small unit apartments. From there, we've actually seen people now moving into gated communities, primarily because there's a lot of advantages in gated communities, right? You have safety, security for the children, the elders have their walking spaces, the lady of the house has convenience. So all these amenities and facilities have evolved in this gated community concept. So now people are preferring to move into gated communities. And now from there, now the next I think shift is moving into larger societies where you have work from home, where you have shopping within that community. So I think that's the new trend now, where we have larger areas where you have malls, you have a hotel, you have restaurants, just like Bhartiya City is. So I think Manyata Tech Park 2 also will be very similar to that, where we have all the amenities within one township, yes.
You've developed 7 projects, 4 million square feet, 2 projects which are already under construction. So 2 decades is a good amount of time. What have been your key learnings in terms of from a risk management standpoint?
So we've had a lot of ups and downs in this business, yes. See, real estate is cyclical. We do see a lot of upward trends and downward trends. So we've got to be lucky with this. So what we've learned in this is consistency, being a little realistic, being grounded, and that's what we are. If you see our journey starting off in 2005, wherein we started, and then 2007 onwards, there was a recession in Hyderabad reality market for about close to about 7 to 8 years. So we held on, we survived that trend, and we were lucky post-COVID when suddenly the market really did appreciate multiple times. So we were lucky. So this is a little cyclical, so you have to be able to sustain that cycle. Customer confidence is very, very important because when we are in a downward trend, projects tend to slow down a lot. So despite that, we have to ensure that we are able to deliver the project at the required quality, at the required timelines to the customer.
How would you want yourself to be remembered as an entrepreneur? Just one thing, and what is the legacy you want to leave behind?
Just being passionate about what I'm doing. Today, I'm very passionate about my work. I involve myself totally in each project, right from the planning stage to the end handing over process. In fact, post handover also, I directly interact with customers, attend to any query that they have, any issue that they face. So I think that gives me a lot of satisfaction. Right? So especially when I walk into these communities which are occupied, and customers or residents come up to me and thank me for having delivered such a wonderful project to them, that gives me a lot of satisfaction.
So it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Real estate stocks are seeing their sharpest correction since 2021, raising a crucial question for investors. Is this a warning sign or an opportunity? Time to break it down in Finance Ka Funda with Mr. Ashu Madan, Managing Director, JM Financial. finance ka funda, my first question to you, Mr. Madan, is what is causing the decline of real stocks as we enter this year?
I would say that don't isolate real estate stocks. I mean, many of the sectors are down, and they are down because of fundamental reason, and because there was too much of euphoria around real estate. Everyone is talking about real estate, and people thought that that's the safest haven to be, which still it is. But there is something called price action. I mean, everything has a price. The way prices were going up, and I mean, everyone thinks that there is no tomorrow. There has to be some justice to the real estate prices. Other than few pockets, I mean, the way prices are getting stagnated, I mean, real estate sector is getting into that, is also getting that reality check that there is nothing beyond a particular price. You cannot keep on increasing the price, and a multi-crore flat, how many people are in India are earning in crores? And if you look at across India, everyone is talking of apartments which are multi-crores. I mean, for how long this can continue? So I think some reality check, some sanity check will get into place, and because of which real estate stocks will get a hit or will get a reality check. And the way prices were going up, and I mean, everyone thinks that there is no tomorrow. There has to be some justice to the real estate prices. Two types of correction in the market. One is the price correction, and one is the time correction. So first, real estate are undergoing a price correction, and then probably, see, we have seen many past cycles of real estate. I mean, there are long cycles of consolidation. And that is what I'm expecting now, that there could be a long process of consolidation in real estate, which will result into a long consolidation in real estate stocks also.
Here comes my last question, sir. India has locked 2 major deals and the budget is also passed. So is there any impact on the real estate shares as such?
I would say you can term it differently. Whether you call it slowdown, I would call it consolidation, because end of the day, the real estate demand, what is the desire of every normal human being in India, that to desire to own a house? If you see the various pockets, whether it is Goa, or whether it is the tier 2, tier 3 cities, or whether fancy township, I mean, certainly there is stagnation, the sales are going down, and this is a cycle. And I'm more concerned about, more than price correction, the cycle of consolidation, which may last few years.
Let's now take a closer look at where the money is moving in the real estate sector. From rising liquidity flows and fresh developer bets to regional markets showing unexpected momentum, these signals often reveal where the next opportunities lie. This is Market Watch.
Financial flows into India's commercial sector have seen a sharp rise this financial year, signaling growing confidence in the economy. According to the Reserve Bank of India's latest monthly bulletin, total funding to the commercial sector increased by 45% year-on-year between 2025 and 2026. The total financial inflow now stands at 30.8 lakh crore rupees, up from 21.3 lakh crore rupees in the previous year. The growth has been driven by stronger lending from banks as well as non-bank financial channels. The RBI data also shows that as of 31st of December 2025, credit to the commercial sector rose by 15% year-on-year compared to 11.3% earlier. This surge highlights improving liquidity conditions and a renewed momentum in business and investment activity across sectors. India's real estate major DLF is stepping into the senior living segment, marking a significant shift in residential development priorities. The company is set to launch its first senior living project in Gurugram later this quarter, with an expected revenue of around 2,000 crore rupees. The move comes as India's senior living market shows strong long-term growth potential. According to a joint report by the Association of Senior Living India and JLL India, nearly 15,000 senior homes are expected to be operational across the country by 2030. The report highlights changing demographics rising life expectancy and evolving lifestyle preferences as key drivers of this expanding sector. Senior living is increasingly emerging as a structured, organized and economically significant segment within Indian real estate. South India's residential real estate market has crossed the 20,000 crore rupee mark in sales, reflecting a strong recovery after the pandemic slowdown. This milestone was highlighted by a leading developer at the CREDAI event held in Bengaluru. While South India remains smaller in absolute market size compared to other regions, it is witnessing robust growth, particularly driven by emerging Tier 2 cities. Cities such as Coimbatore, Kochi, Thiruvananthapuram and the rapidly developing Visakhapatnam are playing a key role in this expansion. These markets are increasingly becoming growth engines for the region, reinforcing South India's importance in India's overall real estate landscape.
Today, buying or investing in property isn't just about budgets and returns. Legal clarity matters just as much. In this segment of Legal Edge, Mr. Venkat Rao, who is our legal expert, joins us to answer some of the most important questions facing home buyers and investors today. So my first question to you, Mr. Venkat Rao, is investing in a pre-launch project even before RERA registration actually legal? And should the buyers consider going ahead with such projects?
No. Pre-launch, there is no concept called pre-launch. RERA suggests that you should have a registration before. There only and thereafter only you can even make an advertisement. So there's no concept of pre-launch anymore. Pre-launch is only a marketing gimmick. So nobody should fall for that. It's a clear case that it's a project, means it needs to be registered. Then only you can sort of advertise and then sell.
My next question is, when the projects get delayed and misscheduled delivery timelines, what rights does an investor or home buyer really have?
Prior to RERA, there was no set law about it. But post-RERA, Section 18 of the Act specifically provides that you have a right to seek refund in case of delay, or in case you want to continue in the project, then you can get a delayed interest for the period of delay. You can get interest. Say, for instance, if a developer or a promoter commits a project to be completed in, say, 3 years, and if he fails to complete it, then you have absolute right to seek refund the day it is 300, immediately after 1 day after 3 years. Or you can choose to be with the promoter. You will be entitled to get a interest on the delayed period at the rate of MCLR plus 2% or 1% as the states, respective states may notify.
Home design is changing the way we live today. In our What's New segment, we look at why pillarless spaces are becoming the new preference and how design is opening homes to light, views and nature.
Big balcony, even bigger potential. In our fast-rising cities, outdoor space is no longer just an add-on. It's an opportunity. Vertical gardens are redefining balcony living. Moving beyond crowded pots on the floor, they transform walls and railings into living, breathing landscapes. A revolution that's already taking root globally and soon across India. Using modular planters, pocket panels, or elegant trellises, balconies become lush green canvases. Herbs, flowers, leafy greens, even small vegetables all thriving vertically without taking away precious space. the impact goes beyond beauty. Vertical gardens improve air quality, offer natural cooling, create privacy, and become a stunning visual focal point. They don't just decorate a home, they enhance how it feels. Start simple, low maintenance, sun-loving plants like succulents, basil, mint, or trailing blooms work best. With proper drainage, strong support, and regular watering, nature does the rest. Because a spacious balcony isn't just an outdoor area. It's a chance to reconnect with nature, elevate well-being, and reimagine urban living, one vertical garden at a time.
That's all on this episode of Our Estate, Building the Nation. We'll be back with more insights, sharper analysis, and on-ground stories from India's evolving property landscape. Until then, stay informed, stay invested, and keep watching Our Estate, Building the Nation.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
Himanta Biswa Sarma, good evening.
Good evening.
And everyone across the countries watched your press conference yesterday.
Yes.
Now, you see, now that you've done the press conference, you've made some very, very damning allegations against Gaurav Gogoi.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over cricket, are ready to compromise the nation. Terrible. Pakistan has taken another magnificent U-turn in its decision to not play, not play, keep changing its mind, ladies and gentlemen. First they say they stand with Bangladesh, then they said we stand with them so much that we don't participate in the World Cup. Then they put Shehbaz Sharif in front and he said we've taken a clear decision not to play cricket with India because we are backing Bangladesh. Listen to what Shehbaz Sharif said.
T20 वर्ल्ड कप जो है उस हवाले से हमने बड़ा वाज़ेह स्टैंड लिया है कि हम हिंदुस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ जो मैच है वो हम नहीं खेलेंगे, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि ये खेल का मैदान है, ये सियासत नहीं है। खेल के मैदान में सियासत बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमने एक बड़ा सोच समझ के हमने स्टैंड लिया है और इस हवाले से हमें बांग्लादेश के साथ पूरी तरह खड़े होना चाहिए।
That's what he said 8 days back. Now he's changed his line 8 days later. Now he's saying that the government of Pakistan is now directing the Pakistan national team to take the field on February 15th for the scheduled fixture against India in the T20 World Cup. Now viewers, my point is, let the Pakistanis do what the hell they want to do, who cares? But what is...
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat.
You're watching Republic.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Live and Breaking on Republic TV with me, Ishita Mitra. Now, viewers, Tukre Gang has returned and we are hearing some controversial slogans being raised at the JNU campus with Kanhaiya Kumar also being present there. We'll get you all the details on that. But first up, headlines. Congress leader Kanhaiya Kumar sparks major controversy with Azadi and anti-Brahmanism slogans at JNU public meet. Maharashtra ATS raids 21 sites in Yarvatmal and Ahilyanagar targeting extremist activity in the state. Sterilization camp at Community Health Centre in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar comes under scrutiny after reports of 175 tribal women operated on a single day under alleged unsafe and inadequate conditions. Controversy over Tipu Sultan's picture escalates as AIMIM chief Owaisi defends move saying Tipu Sultan fought against the British. At least 2 workers killed and 3 injured in horrific chemical tank explosion at Kirti Chemicals factory in Karnataka. All right, we are starting this bulletin with breaking news coming in at this point. All right, viewers, now India, we will be in fact represented by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla at the swearing-in ceremony of Bangladesh newly elected Prime Minister-elect, in fact now Tariq Rahman. He will be accompanied by the Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri as well. This is the information we are getting from our sources at this point. Remember, the ceremony is set to take place and this comes after BNP swept the elections in Bangladesh. Now we're looking at ceremony taking place where the heads of states have been invited from across South Asia. And when we talk about Indian representation, we understand that Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla will be, in fact, attending and representing India at the swearing-in ceremony of Bangladesh Prime Minister-elect Tariq Rahman. So, essentially, it means that Prime Minister Modi will be skipping the new meet at this point. All right, my colleague Niranjan now joins me on this with more details. Niranjan, we are given to understand that Prime Minister Modi is going to skip the swearing-in ceremony of Prime Minister-elect Tariq Rahman and instead Lok Sabha Speaker will be representing India.
Yes, because even we had an inkling of this yesterday. In fact, we were told that there would be an invitation from the BNP to the Prime Minister to be a part of the swearing-in ceremony. But we are hearing that the invitation was extended to the Prime Minister, but he may not be able to attend it personally because he has a scheduled meeting with the French President on the same day. We are hearing that there is a meeting scheduled between Prime Minister Modi and French President Emmanuel Macron in Mumbai on the same day. This is on the 17th of February. And that is why the Prime Minister may not be able to personally go and be there at the swearing-in of Tariq Rahman. The BNP leader, whose party has won the elections in Bangladesh, is Khalida Zia's son. But we have sent a top representative. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha will be there. And top diplomats from India, the Foreign Secretary, Vikram Misri will himself be present in New Delhi, in Dhaka for the swearing-in ceremony. So we will, of course, be sending our representatives. And it is significant also because on the day that Tariq Rahman won the elections, our Prime Minister spoke to him, congratulated Tariq Rahman on the victory, with the key message that we will back, of course, an inclusive government in Bangladesh. Inclusive being the key word, because we know that there have been attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh, and those attacks continued even until the day of the elections when Hindus were attacked in different parts of Bangladesh. So on that front, our message is clear and our stand doesn't change. And BNP is a party which has, in the past, appeased radicals, has, had to rely on radical support to come back to power. See the entire regime change that took place in Bangladesh 2 years ago. It was led by radicals. It was backed by radicals, planned by radicals, and that is why this is significant. And yesterday there was a comment that came in fact, before I hand it back to you, and that comment was to the tune of Tariq Rahman saying that he will put his country's interests first. India will put its interests first, and we will bat for Hindus. Of course, our stand on the attacks on Hindus will not change. So it's a new beginning. Let's see what's in store. We are sending our speaker and the foreign secretary for now. Back to you for now.
All right. Thank you, Niranjan, for joining us and putting these developments into perspective for our viewers. Now, viewers, shifting focus, the slogans were raised in the presence of Congress leader Kanhaiya Kumar. This sloganeering incident, in fact, took place on February 13th at JNU campus. Now, videos from that event show Kumar playing a duffly and participating in Azadi, an anti-Brahmanism sloganeering. And now the meeting reportedly was organized to protest the suspension of JNU student union officials who were allegedly involved in vandalizing a library biometric system. While the video has gone viral, the Congress party is yet to issue any official statement regarding Kumar's participating in that event. Remember, not the first time that controversial slogans have been raised at the JNU campus, and not the first time that Kanhaiya Kumar, in fact, has been involved in such an incident. But this time again, it's Kanhaiya Kumar at the center of this storm, raising slogans against Brahmanism at the campus.
ये हमेशा से इनका रहा है, इनका एजेंडा रहा है और इनकी विचारधारा रही है कि समाज में, सोसाइटी में किस प्रकार से विभेद उत्पन्न कर दिया जाए, किस प्रकार से समाज में जो है समाज को बांट दिया जाए, अलग थलग कर दिया जाए। जो मतलब भारत का जो कल्चर है, जो संस्कृति है, सबको एक साथ एक सूत्र में बांधने का भाव रखती है। नहीं, हमेशा से नारा लगाते आ रहे हैं शुरू से ही कि भारत तेरे ... होंगे। न्यायालय की हमेशा से अवमानना करते आए हैं, अपमान करते हैं। तो इनके एजेंडे में रहा है कि समाज को कैसे भी खंडित किया जा सके। और जो
These controversial slogans have also sparked a fresh political debate, Ishita, but there are also some students. क्या हुआ उस दिन, क्यों आए यहाँ पे कन्हैया कुमार और इस तरह के स्लोगन्स रेज हुए? क्या कोई इवेंट था जहाँ पे उन्हें बुलाया गया था?
देखिए, अभी जो लाइब्रेरी एंट्रेंस है वहाँ पर फेस रिकग्निशन सिस्टम लगा था और वो सिस्टम जो था 20 लाख रुपए का था। और उस पे जब प्रोक्टोरियल इंक्वायरी हुई तो उस पे उन सबको जो भी उसमें इन्वॉल्व थे एसयू मेंबर्स, उनको रेस्टिगेट कर दिया गया और उन पे एक नॉमिनल फाइन लगाया गया। जबकि रेस्टिगेशन होने के बावजूद भी वो कैंपस में घूम रहे हैं खुलेआम और सारी एक्टिविटीज़ को लीड कर रहे हैं। और उसी रेस्टिगेशन के समर्थन में कन्हैया कुमार जेएनयू में बुलाया जाता है और एक नैरेटिव ऐसा बनाने की कोशिश की जाती है कि यूजीसी के जो नए रूल्स आए थे उनके खिलाफ प्रोटेस्ट करते, उनके समर्थन में प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए इनके ऊपर फाइन आया है, इनको रेस्टिगेट किया गया है और ये जेएनयू के कॉमन स्टूडेंट को मोबिलाइज करने का काम कर रहे थे।
Tell me, does any action has been taken by the university authorities?
जेएनयू के लिए ये आम बात हो चुकी है, ये हमेशा होता रहता है, लेफ्ट हमेशा करता रहता है। लेफ्ट एडमिन नेक्सस है इनका, इन पे कोई कार्रवाई नहीं होती है। 2016 में इन्होंने देश विरोधी नारे लगाए, उस पर भी कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। अभी हाल ही में इन्होंने कई सारे नारे लगाए जो साबरमती ढाबे पे लगाया, इन पे कोई कार्रवाई एडमिन करता ही नहीं है। ये साफ साफ लेफ्ट और एडमिन का नेक्सस है।
This has also sparked a fresh political debate also.
Yes.
अब अंदर क्या माहौल है, मतलब क्या आयशा की तरफ से कोई इवेंट भी था, क्या बुलाया गया था इवेंट में स्पेशली उनको एज अ चीफ गेस्ट, और या फिर आप जैसा बता रहे हैं बायोमेट्रिक सिस्टम लगा दिया जाता है उसके बावजूद उनकी एंट्री होती है, तो क्या कोई इवेंट में प्रायर नोटिस दिया गया था?
ये लेफ्ट के जेएनयू एसयू के मेंबर्स को जिनको रेस्ट्रिकेट किया गया है उसके विरोध में इनकी तरफ से कॉल दिया गया था, जिसमें इनके पुराने जेएनयू एसयू के प्रेसिडेंट और सारे पदाधिकारी आए थे।
Now we are shifting focus in Madhya Pradesh, where the government claims to be strengthening healthcare in tribal regions. Shocking visuals have come to light from Dhar. They tell a very different story. Now at a sterilization camp in Bagh, more than 175 tribal women were allegedly operated upon without any basic facilities. These images raise disturbing questions about medical ethics, accountability and humanity itself. Let's get a better glimpse about the story in this report.
These are not scenes from a disaster zone. This is a government sterilization camp in Bagh, a tribal area of Dhar district in Madhya Pradesh. Nearly 180 tribal women arrived at the community health center on Friday, many with children and relatives for family planning procedures. But what awaited them? No proper seating, no adequate drinking water, and after surgery, even no beds. Women who had just undergone sterilization were left lying on the floor, some in contaminated water, others under the scorching sun, women being treated worse than cattle.
गांव के बाई उनको लेके आए पेशेंट को।
कितनी बजे आ गए थे यहाँ?
सर 8 साढ़े 8 बजे तक आ गए थे।
कितने बजे शुरू हुआ यहाँ पर ये शिविर?
ये तो चल ही रहा सर, आए तब से चल ही रहा, पर धीरे धीरे वो तो बहुत सारे बाई होने हैं तो टाइम तो लग ही रहा।
जो नीचे लेटी है महिलाएं परेशान हो रही है, गर्मी लग रही है, टेंट भी लगा।
हाँ, वो तो नहीं मिल रही है, नहीं मिल रही है, तो सुविधा पूरी नहीं मिल रही।
पीने का पानी की क्या व्यवस्था है?
नहीं, पानी भी अभी खत्म हो गया, 2 ड्रम लाए थे तो खत्म हो गया, अभी भी नहीं।
Family members could be seen fanning them with pieces of cloth as women writhed in pain. But the most shocking revelation here lies in the numbers. A single private doctor, Dr. Rakesh Dawar, reportedly arrived at 3 p.m. and was assigned nearly 180 sterilization procedures. Hospital officials claimed one sterilization was being completed in just 2 minutes. The time, just 2 minutes.
सर, डॉक्टर बड़वाने से बुलवाया है, डॉक्टर राकेश डावर। ये
सर्जन है 2 मिनट में एक ऑपरेशन कर देते हैं। तो हमारे 175 केस है, कम से कम 3-3.5 घंटे में पूरा कर देंगे।
इसके पहले क्या क्या जांचें कराना?
इसके पहले हमने जांच कराई, प्रेगनेंसी टेस्ट करवाया, बीपी लिया, खून की जांच करवाई, शुगर बीपी दोनों करवाया। फिर उसके बाद महिला को वहाँ ऑपरेशन के लिए भेजा। वहाँ पे महिला को इंजेक्शन लगता है टेस्ट के लिए।
Adding to the controversy, the Chief Block Medical Officer Dr. Veer Bahadur Singh Mawal was not even present at the camp. He reportedly arrived only after learning that the media had reached the center and he claimed that he was attending a meeting.
175 के आसपास हुए केस हमारे पास अभी टोटल। वो क्या होता है कि कि हर हफ्ते मेरे पास सर्जन की अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं हो पाती, इसीलिए वही लोग अगर इकट्ठे आते तो फिर इकट्ठे करवाना पड़ते हैं। सर्जन मेरे पास जो डॉक्टर डावर आते हैं वो बड़वानी से आते हैं, तो इसलिए हमें सर्जन की प्रॉब्लम्स आती है हमेशा। तो और ये लोग क्या है कि अब गर्मी का सीज़न आ जाएगा, गर्मी के बाद केसेस हो भी नहीं पाएंगे, इसलिए हमें इकट्ठे करते हैं।
जिले में सर्जन की अवेलेबिलिटी नहीं है क्या सर?
सर्जन की अवेलेबिलिटी है, लेकिन क्या होता है कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट से लंबा पड़ता है ना, इतनी दूर सर्जन आते नहीं। ये क्या है कि LTD कैम्प करने के लिए प्राइवेट हायर करते हैं हम लोग सर्जन से। ये भी जैसे गवर्नमेंट सर्जन नहीं, हमारे पास प्राइवेट सर्जन हायर करने पड़ते हैं, पे ऑफ करके इनको बुलाया जाता है।
After the issue surfaced, Chief Medical Health Officer termed the violations illegal. The block medical officer has been attached to the district headquarters and further action, officials say, will follow as per rules. And the larger question remains, when healthcare becomes a number game and surgeries are reduced to speed targets, who takes the responsibility of putting people's lives at risk?
Now, just moving on, families of Japanese soldiers martyred in a vital World War II confrontation in Manipur paid their tributes. Now, Battle of Nanchingam was a turning point between the Japanese forces and the Allied powers on the Eastern Front, and it left about 277 Japanese soldiers dead while attempting to retain the strategic ridge that overlooked the airfields. Watch this report to know more about this battle.
Family members of martyred Japanese soldiers paid their tributes at the Nungshikam Hills in Manipur. This ordinary-looking Indian hill had become a major point of contention during the World War II. A confrontation had erupted in Imphal when the Japanese forces captured this vital ridge overlooking the main Imphal airfield.
So in the initial stage of the battle, it was controlled by the Japanese from 15th Division, which is called the Morikawa unit of the 15th Division. They were controlling this massif, which is called the Nungshikam massif. And there were several attacks by the British Indian Army to wrest the control out of these features, but then it was not very successful because it was heavily defended by the Japanese. So ultimately, this was around 6 April, and then ultimately on 13, after several attacks to recapture this, having failed that, they finally brought in the tanks from the 3rd Carabiner, and that was for the first time the tanks were taken up on this gradient.
And then began the Battle of Nungshikam, the struggle of Allied forces to recapture this ridge from the Japanese army. 277 Japanese soldiers were martyred attempting to retain this strategic high point against the British army.
They formed a single line to drive on this ridge to blast out the Japanese bunkers from these features. But the Japanese were still there, very tenaciously attacking back on this, on this particular day. And ultimately, the British managed to eject out the Japanese of these features, because it was very crucial. If you read today's military historian, they say that capturing these features was very, the end result was very crucial to the whole campaign. Because
from those who witnessed the battle to the following generations of those martyred, the Japanese families paid tributes in Imphal. With memorial stones and floral tributes, the departed soldiers were once again remembered.
All right, viewers, now breaking news coming in. Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Sunday accused the Congress and its leader Rahul Gandhi of spreading lies and misleading farmers over India's trade pacts with the US, UK and the EU, asserting that the government has fully safeguarded the country's agricultural and dairy sectors. The government reiterating its point on the trade deals that have been signed recently with the US, the UK and European Union as well. And this time it is Amit Shah who has come out and clarified the stance, saying that farmer and dairy sectors are completely protected. All right, we are shifting focus to another big breaking news coming in from Madhya Pradesh. A lawyer has been shot dead by unknown assailants while he was on his way to court in Karira area of the district. Upon receiving this information, police arrived at the scene and began an investigation. Now, the Superintendent of Police, Aman Singh Rathore, stated that the search for the accused is ongoing and the search operation is being conducted in the surrounding areas. But this is the breaking news we're getting, viewers, at this point. A lawyer, in fact, has been shot dead. Search operation is currently underway. This incident took place in Madhya Pradesh. The lawyer was on his way, in fact, to court, and this is when unknown assailants came and shot dead the lawyer. Now, police say the search operation is underway in the surrounding areas to nab the accused. It is a breaking news. So more details are still awaited. We do not know the trigger for this incident, but as of now, we understand that a Madhya Pradesh lawyer has been shot dead while he was on his way to court by these unknown assailants. Now, the police say that a search operation is underway. They're trying to locate the accused to nab him. All right, my colleague Satya Vijay is now joining me on this from Bhopal. Satya Vijay, what details do we have about this incident? A lawyer getting shot dead in broad daylight by unknown assailants.
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल। देखिए, मध्य प्रदेश के शिवपुरी से ये बड़ा घटनाक्रम सामने आया है, जहां पर कि संजय कुमार सक्सेना, जो कि सीनियर एडवोकेट हैं, उनकी जान ले ली गई, उनकी हत्या कर दी गई। और ये पूरा जो घटनाक्रम है, इसमें जो परिवार है, वकील का जो परिवार है, उनका कहना है कि जमीन विवाद से जुड़ा ये मामला है, जिसके चलते अज्ञात आरोपियों ने सीनियर एडवोकेट संजय कुमार सक्सेना की गोली मारकर हत्या कर दी है। बड़ी बात यह कि जब संजय कुमार सक्सेना घर से कोर्ट के लिए निकले थे, इस दौरान आरोपियों ने उन पर गोली चलाई, जिससे दिनदाड़े उनकी मौत की गई, उनकी हत्या कर दी गई। इस घटनाक्रम में अपडेट ये है कि पुलिस को इनपुट्स मिले कि आरोपी कौन है। इसके चलते पुलिस ने जब धरपकड़ की तो पुलिस पर भी आरोपियों ने फायरिंग की। आत्मरक्षा ने पुलिस ने भी काउंटर फायरिंग की, जिसमें एक जो आरोपी है उसके पैर में गोली लगी है, उसे पुलिस ने तुरंत इलाज के लिए अस्पताल भेजा है और बाकी आरोपियों की तलाश में पुलिस की टीम जुटी हुई है। चूंकि मामला एक एडवोकेट की हत्या से जुड़ा हुआ है, इसीलिए शिवपुरी में लोगों में भी नाराजगी है और एडवोकेट एसोसिएशन में भी नाराजगी है, और इसीलिए पुलिस जल्द से जल्द कोशिश कर रही है कि आरोपियों को जल्द, जितने भी आरोपी हैं जिन्होंने इस गोलीकांड को अंजाम दिया, उनकी गिरफ्तारी की जा सके।
जी बिल्कुल सत्य विजय, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए और ये जानकारी हमें देने के लिए। And now viewers, that's all we could pack in this edition of Live and Breaking. Thank you so much for watching, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, we discuss how Maharashtra ATS conducted raids at 21 sites in the state targeting extremist activity across Maharashtra.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
रानी, इस घर में कुछ है जो टूटता नहीं।
ये पिलर कभी नहीं टूटेगा। रुंगटा स्टील TMT से बना।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी every day.
I am absolutely fed up, like you are, I'm sure, with the U-turns of the BCCI and the ICC and cricket politics. And I feel bad, like every citizen of India does, that these people, because they want to make some money over cricket, are ready to compromise the nation. Terrible. Pakistan has taken another magnificent U-turn in its decision to not play, play, not play, play, not play, play, not play, keep changing its mind, ladies and gentlemen. First they say they stand with Bangladesh, then they said we stand with them so much that we don't participate in the World Cup. Then they put Shehbaz Sharif in front and he said we've taken a clear decision not to play cricket with India because we are backing Bangladesh. Listen to what Shehbaz Sharif said.
T20 वर्ल्ड कप जो है उस हवाले से हमने बड़ा वाज़ेह स्टैंड लिया है कि हम हिंदुस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ जो मैच है वो हम नहीं खेलेंगे क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने कहा कि ये खेल का मैदान है, ये सियासत नहीं है। खेल के मैदान में सियासत बिल्कुल नहीं होनी चाहिए। हमने एक बड़ा सोच समझ के हमने स्टैंड लिया है और इस हवाले से हमें बांग्लादेश के साथ पूरी तरह खड़े होना चाहिए।
That's what he said 8 days back. Now he's changed his line 8 days later. Now he's saying that the government of Pakistan is now directing the Pakistan national team to play, to take the field on February 15th for the scheduled fixture against India in the T20 World Cup. Now viewers, my point is, let the Pakistanis do what the hell they want to do, who cares? But what is the BCCI doing? What is the ICC doing? What is Rajiv Shukla doing? What is this paid executive Sanjog Gupta doing? Why are we allowing Pakistan to do the U-turn? We should have never given them a long rope. We should have caught them and said, no, you said you're not playing, now you don't play. We should have embarrassed them. We should have made life hell for them. We should have reined in the Pakistanis. But no, you see in our country, some people are so desperate, like Rajiv Shukla, so desperate to play cricket with Pakistan. Why, Rajiv Shukla, do you want to play cricket with Pakistan? You have no history of cricket. But Rajiv Shukla says, we agree with the ICC. We cannot comment on what the ICC is doing. And then he says, ICC, BCCI has nothing to do with what Shehbaz Sharif is saying. Well, let me tell you, the ICC has given in to Pakistan. And I feel bad, this fellow, Sanjog Gupta, who is the ICC CEO, earlier was a TV executive, ladies and gentlemen, in the same company. Now, this man, Sanjog Gupta, puts out a statement trying to placate Pakistan, trying to placate Bangladesh. And now they are sitting on the negotiating table with Pakistan. They didn't put any fine on Pakistan for all its tantrums. They gave in. This man, Sanjog Gupta, a simple paid executive, he has given in to the demand of hosting further matches in Bangladesh. So he's compromised India, directly or indirectly. And I'm saying, who the hell is he to do that? Who allowed him to do that? Even the demand that Bangladesh must receive its full ICC revenue share has been agreed to, even when Bangladesh did not play the game. So Bangladesh used Pakistan as a linchpin to pressurize India, and a paid executive called Sanjog Gupta agreed on India's behalf. And why am I saying India? Because ICC is controlled by BCCI, there's no difference. Ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. Who is this man? How did he become...
Congress leader Kanhaiya Kumar sparks major controversy with Azadi and anti-Brahmanism slogans being raised at JNU public meet. Maharashtra ATS raids 21 sites in Yarvatmal and Ahilya Nagar targeting extremist activity. Sterilization camp at Community Health Centre in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar comes under scrutiny after reports of 175 tribal women operated on a single day under alleged unsafe and inadequate conditions. Controversy over Tipu Sultan's picture escalates as the AIMIM chief Owaisi defends move, saying Tipu Sultan fought against the British. At least 2 workers killed and 3 injured in horrific chemical tank explosion at Kirti Chemicals factory in Karnataka. All right, welcome viewers. Our top focus at this hour, a big breaking news coming in. Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Sunday accused the Congress and its leader Rahul Gandhi of spreading lies and misleading farmers over new India's trade pact with the US, UK and the European Union, asserting that government has fully safeguarded the country's agricultural and dairy sectors. So again, government of the day, reiterating that no red lines have been crossed and the interests of farmers and those in dairy sectors have been fully protected.
यूरोपियन यूनियन, इंग्लैंड, इसके साथ हुए जो एफटीए और अमेरिका के साथ हुई ट्रेड डील, ये दोनों के माध्यम से मोदी जी ने किसानों के हित को नुकसान पहुंचा है। मैं राहुल गांधी जी को चैलेंज देना चाहता हूं, किसी भी मंच तय कर लो, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का युवा मोर्चे का अध्यक्ष आकर आपसे चर्चा कर लेगा नुकसान किसने किया है। मैं इस देश के किसानों को इस मंच से आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि एक प्रकार से कार्यक्रम जो है, एक प्रकार से तो ये कार्यक्रम गरीबों को पारदर्शी तरीके से अनाज पहुंचाने का है, मगर ये कार्यक्रम किसानों का भी है, क्योंकि अनाज कहां से आता है? अनाज हमारे प्रहलाद भाई जो एमएसपी पर गेहूं, धान, दलहन खरीदते हैं, वो उचित दामों पर और मुफ्त में किसानों तक पहुंचाने का कार्यक्रम है। मैं आज इस मंच से देश के किसानों को कहने आया हूं कि राहुल गांधी झूठ बोल रहे हैं, देश के किसानों को गुमराह कर रहे हैं। इंग्लैंड और यूरोपियन यूनियन के साथ हुए एफटीए और अमेरिकन ट्रेड डील, ये दोनों समझौते में किसानों को पूर्णतया नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने सुरक्षित किया है, किसी को चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है। यूरोपियन यूनियन, इंग्लैंड, इसके साथ हुए जो एफटीए और अमेरिका के साथ हुई ट्रेड डील, ये दोनों के माध्यम से मोदी जी ने किसानों के हित को नुकसान पहुंचा है। मैं राहुल गांधी जी को चैलेंज देना चाहता हूं, किसी भी मंच तय कर लो, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का युवा मोर्चे का अध्यक्ष आकर आपसे चर्चा कर लेगा नुकसान किसने किया है। मैं इस देश के किसानों को इस मंच से आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि एक प्रकार से कार्यक्रम जो है, एक प्रकार से तो ये कार्यक्रम गरीबों को पारदर्शी तरीके से अनाज पहुंचाने का है, मगर ये कार्यक्रम किसानों का भी है, क्योंकि अनाज कहां से आता है? अनाज हमारे प्रहलाद भाई जो एमएसपी पर गेहूं, धान, दलहन खरीदते हैं, वो उचित दामों पर और मुफ्त में किसानों तक पहुंचाने का कार्यक्रम है। मैं आज इस मंच से देश के किसानों को कहने आया हूं कि राहुल गांधी झूठ बोल रहे हैं, देश के किसानों को गुमराह कर रहे हैं। इंग्लैंड और यूरोपियन यूनियन के साथ हुए एफटीए और अमेरिकन ट्रेड डील, ये दोनों समझौते में किसानों को पूर्णतया नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने सुरक्षित किया है, किसी को चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है।
Now, viewers, the controversy that began with the Malegaon deputy mayor displaying the portrait of Tipu Sultan in her office has now reached Hyderabad. AIMIM chief Owaisi has come in defense of Tipu Sultan, calling him a freedom fighter. Now, this reaction comes after the row had already escalated, with Congress leaders comparing Tipu Sultan with Chhatrapati Shivaji and BJP's strong backlash to that. And now Owaisi has also said that Tipu was martyred fighting against the British and even compared him to Savarkar. Take a look at this report at how this controversy is now escalating.
The political storm over Tipu Sultan is intensifying. After Congress leader Harshvardhan Sabkal compared Tipu Sultan to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the BJP slammed the remarks as shameful. Now, AIMIM chief Asauddin Owaisi has entered the debate, calling Tipu Sultan a martyr and defending the comparison. Owaisi said Tipu died fighting the British and did not seek mercy. In a sharp attack, he alleged that Tipu took up his sword and was killed in battle, unlike those who wrote apology letters to the British.
99 में टीपू सुल्तान की शहादत हुई, अंग्रेजों से लड़कर टीपू की शहादत हुई, जेल में बैठकर टीपू तुम्हारे वीर की तरह 6 लव लेटर नहीं लिखा अंग्रेजों को मैं माफ कर दो, तुम जो बोले मैं करता हूं। टीपू तलवार लेकर अपने मुल्क को अंग्रेजों से आजाद कराने के लिए शहीद हो गया। तो बीजेपी जो है इस तरह से तारीख को पेश करती कि नफरत पैदा कर दो, मगर भारत की पहली संविधान की किताब में टीपू की फोटो है या नहीं बता दो चलो।
He also referred to Mahatma Gandhi, saying Gandhi had described Tipu Sultan as an example of Hindu-Muslim unity and asked whether would now Gandhi be called a liar. The controversy erupted after Maharashtra Congress President Harshvardhan Sabkal compared 18th century ruler Tipu Sultan to Maratha warrior King Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Sabkal said Tipu's fight against the British reflected the ideals of Swaraj championed by Shivaji Maharaj. He described Tipu as a warrior and a son of the soil who stood against colonial rule. The BJP was quick to react. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis termed the comparison condemnable and said the Congress leader should be ashamed of himself.
कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष हर्षवर्धन सबकाल ने जिस प्रकार से छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की तुलना टीपू सुल्तान के साथ की है, हम इसकी निंदा करते हैं। उनको शर्म आनी चाहिए। छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज जिन्होंने मुगलों के साथ लड़ाई करके स्वराज्य का निर्माण किया और हजारों हिंदुओं को कत्ल करने वाला टीपू सुल्तान, वो और महाराज, इनको एक समान आदर दिया जाए, इस प्रकार की बात अगर कांग्रेस पार्टी कहती है तो वोटों के लालच में ये कितने भी जूते चाटे, महाराष्ट्र और देश इसको सहन नहीं करेगा।
The row began after reported Tipu Sultan was displayed in the office of a deputy mayor in Malegaon, triggering political reactions.
वोट बैंक की राजनीति में कांग्रेस पार्टी कितना गिरेगी? कांग्रेस के महाराष्ट्र के अध्यक्ष ने छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की तुलना टीपू सुल्तान से की है। वही टीपू सुल्तान जिसने हजारों हिंदुओं का कत्ल किया, वही टीपू सुल्तान से छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की तुलना हो सकती है क्या? बार बार महान योद्धाओं का, देश के महान सपूतों का अपमान यही बन चुकी है कांग्रेस पार्टी की पहचान। कांग्रेस पार्टी कभी वीर सावरकर जी का अपमान करती है, कांग्रेस पार्टी कभी छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज का अपमान करती है, कांग्रेस पार्टी अंबेडकर जी का अपमान करती है, कांग्रेस पार्टी सरदार पटेल का अपमान करती है। आज जो उन्होंने किया है, महाराष्ट्र की जनता उनको कभी नहीं माफ कर सकती।
With sharp exchanges between the Congress, BJP and AIMIM, the debate over Tipu Sultan's legacy once again underscores how historical figures continue to shape present-day politics.
Now we are shifting focus at the JNU campus. Slogans were raised in the presence of Congress leader Kanhaiya Kumar, and this time the sloganeering was, the incident in fact took place on February 13th, and the slogans targeted Azadi and anti-Brahmanism. Now, Kanhaiya Kumar was participating in that event, seen playing duffly. In fact, the meeting was reportedly organized to protest the suspension of JNU student union officials who were allegedly involved in vandalizing a library biometric system. While the video, in fact, has now gone viral, the Congress party is yet to issue any statement. But on your screen, you can see the video. Kanhaiya Kumar visibly present, playing a duffly, participating in this protest wherein slogans were raised calling for Azadi and anti-Brahmanism slogans. Let's also listen in as to how this event unfolded.
जिंदाबाद